Welcome to PPR Podcast. I've lost track. Is this 177 or 176?
You're asking me? Just make it up.
Well, it's one of those, and I'll get it right in time. My name is Paul Rudy. To my right is the star of the podcast and co-host of the Prep Pigskin Report, Mr. Burt Grossman. Burt, who's in the hot seat today?
Carson Diehl from La Jolla.
Carson Diehl. Hey, Carson. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Where are you right now?
I'm at my house in my dad's office.
Okay.
He's got a nice office.
Yeah, he's got a nice. You're what? We're about 25 days out from. Has practice started yet, or you're just starting, right?
Yeah, we got our first day of camp tomorrow or today at 5.
And how does it work? Are you guys? You're not in pads until when?
No, we have our first day of helmets. I think on Thursday or Wednesday.
Thursday.
All right.
So Carson is how. I mean, obviously we knew who you were, and we like to do seniors. But I polled a couple of people, the top seniors in the county next year, top 10, and you were on both lists. I guess so. Everybody thinks you're going to be a senior this year. So congratulations on that, being the junior here.
Thank you.
I guess the question is, I mean, you had such a great year last year. Obviously, your brother's throwing to you, Jackson. He's no longer there. Do you fear you might lose a little chemistry? I mean, it's going to be hard to get chemistry with somebody you grew up with playing football since you're probably 5.
Oh yeah, it was great with him last year, but we got a new quarterback. He's my grade, which is good. I throw with him a bunch, so we're building a good chemistry. 7-on's been really fun. I think we're gonna have a good chemistry going into the season.
Hey, before we get any further into this, is there anything we can do about the sync here? Carson's sync is off, guys. Is anyone back there? Can we fix that? Okay, so then I'll just delay it when I cut it up. All right, so Carson, well, let's talk about that. The deal-to-deal connection. Boy, it was one of the biggest stories in town last year, was it not?
Yeah, it was super fun. Everyone came up to like my dad about it, and like my grandparents and stuff. Like they were all talking about it. It's super cool.
Yeah.
The deal to deal.
Well, I mean, how magical is that? Because I mean, let's face it.
It's like a game show.
30 years from now, you're probably going to be in different walks of life, doing different things, and yet you're always going to have that moment. What was the best connection, the best hookup that you guys had in your careers together?
Well, so my dad always talks about how, the very first touchdown of the season I scored, and then the very last touchdown of the season I also scored. So it's just like a connection where the first touchdown, last touchdown of Jackson's career was to me. So, or of that season. So it was just, that was really cool.
Nice bookends, huh?
Yeah.
Carson, are you going to do, this is one thing I hate about recruiting. So Carson gets listed as an athlete because he plays safety and wide receiver. And if you're a lineman and you play both ways, you're just player both ways. I hate that part. Goodness. So again this year, both ways again this year? Or are we going to concentrate maybe on receiver a little more?
No, I'm going to keep playing both ways.
And where do you see yourself in college playing?
Probably receiver. What was surprising was San Diego State when they started talking to me. They were saying that they liked me at defense, which I didn't expect to get, but they were saying like they didn't know which position I would play yet, which was interesting. But yeah, definitely focusing on receiver, but still love playing defense. It's fun. Just being able to affect the game whenever.
That's another rumor in town. I'm going to straighten it out. You haven't committed to San Diego State, have you?
No.
I think people, because that's another rumor, people thought you were committed. I think they confused you with Jet because you guys, are built the same and look the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
But to have 3, I mean, La Jolla, I've been in town for 26 years. La Jolla has always been a solid program, but you guys have taken it to the next level, don't you think, as far as respectability in the CIF?
Yeah, for sure. We are stepping up a lot.
And what do you attribute that to?
I mean, Coach Roach's a great coach. He does, and it's just we have athletes in La Jolla. Our senior class this year is really strong too, which has helped. And then usually have enough old guys plus young guys that we're just able to compete with most teams in San Diego.
Yeah, those old 18-year-olds.
Those old guys.
They're old.
Jeez.
So do you? I remember when I first came to town. I moved to La Jolla, and I remember seeing the campus. It's like a block from Windansea Beach. You know, coming from Pittsburgh, everybody's in the steel mills, and you have to play football to get out, and it's just depressing. And then you show up there. I can't. Like, how do you focus on football there? I mean, you go literally to Windansea Beach, probably the most beautiful beach in the country, and you're a block away. And like, who wants to go to football camp?
Yeah, and a lot of people be going to the beach and then coming straight to practice after, and just like going after. It's just like nice because we're all live pretty close to each other. We all hang out a bunch, go to the beach, and it's like that's what makes the team like really close to each other.
Yeah, do you find yourself fighting the old rich kids, silver spoon kid label? Is it hard to overcome that, or do you just not worry about it?
I don't really worry about it too much. Like, people don't really talk about it that much. It's kind of just like, I feel like that was more like for the private schools. We don't get it as much, but like, because I have a bunch of friends from Mission Bay, because I live in PB and went to like a school over there. Like, that's where the most like I get like people are talking about it there, but it's just like all jokes and stuff. So it's still fun.
So you guys lost to Del Norte last year, obviously disappointing. What's the expectations this year?
I mean, that's obviously the end goal, but first, our main goal right now is just beat Bishops, keep the Pearl Street sign, and then just take it game by game and hopefully go compete for another championship.
I see. I mean, because we got used to like every week watching these crazy highlights with you and your brother. And then you have like this year coming up, Jets back, McGill's your running back, 1,000-yard rusher last year. And then, Coach Juice. I would think you guys are going to run the ball every single play with those three.
Yeah, we're going to try. We've always been a passing offense at La Jolla, so I don't think Roach would ever go away from that. But yeah, we're definitely going to run the ball a little bit this year, and then just the passing game always comes behind it.
We were just talking about the emergence of La Jolla, and you referenced it, and I think it deserves a little expansion. Coach is behind this revitalization, is he not? I mean, here's a guy who's in the community, stepped into this role, and has built this program slowly, brick by brick, and now everybody is taking note of what he's doing and watching what he is doing, because at the end of the day, it's his program, right? I mean, he's keeping kids. Sure. Please expand.
Yeah, when he came in, it was I don't know what the record is, but he always talks about how it was not a great program when he came in, and then it just slowly got better and better. Then they competed and won, and then now we just get more and more kids coming over here. We got another transfer. Lucas Grismer just came. Like, we're starting to get some good players to transfer over here just because of the program that he's building.
I might be getting my coaches mixed up. Did he have a kid or did they bring a kid into the family last year? Did Coach?
Yeah, he has 3 boys. The most recent one was kind of recent. I don't know if it was last year, but it was pretty recent. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
You remember those kind of things.
I just remember doing a story on it, and he's always been very kind to the PPR, and we appreciate that, and find ourselves rooting for him. Who's the preeminent program between you and La Jolla Country Day? I mean, how does that match up? Can they?
I know the offensive coordinator there and head coach, and we always talk back and forth. But I'd say they were the stronger program for sure.
Do you? I think you were second team All-CAF last year, right?
I think so. I remember.
So was that surprising to you? Because I mean, obviously your stats could have had you at first team All-CAF, but you know how they are with underclassmen. They like to put seniors in there, maybe little juniors, but to get a sophomore in there, was that surprising to you, or you kind of expected it?
Well, I didn't know how it all worked. I was kind of just like, it was just cool to be honored up there with that group of guys, but yeah, I didn't really know much about it before the season.
We got to ask a little about 7-on-7. Are you in any of the 7-on-7 clubs, or you just do strictly with your team?
Yeah, I play with Dream Chasers. That's like Jason Carter's 7-on-7 team. We're pretty good.
How many players are on Dream? How many people can you have on a 7-on-7 team?
Different levels.
Oh yeah, it's different levels. But our team is actually there's like a younger team and there's like that older team, and we have like a younger team and we have a really good group of guys actually.
So who's the quarterback?
Jordan Roa, he's just transferred to Lincoln, and then Akili plays for the older team.
So give me a comparison between Tyler Roach and Jason Carter as coaches. Be careful.
I don't, yeah, I don't know how to compare them, but it's different coaching styles. Not too crazy, but they coached together at one point in time at La Jolla because Jason Carter used to coach there. And but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to compare them, but they're both great coaches for sure.
Yeah. What do you do? What do you think? I mean, because you obviously pay attention. You're on social media. Paul and I are dinosaurs on social media. We kind of have this new reality where there's 28,000 transfers a year now. And you being a sophomore and obviously having an amazing time, you know where I'm going with this. Did you ever get approached to transfer?
Like jokingly, the Dream Chasers guys like talk about it, but like I've always known I'm not going anywhere. I've gone here since freshman year, and I'm just staying with Lola for sure.
Yeah, I don't know how you leave.
Yeah, how do you leave it? I mean, outside off the football field, what is tripping your trigger? What subject do you like? I mean, I'm sure you're aware. I know you're a good football player, and you represent the percentage of kids that might play at the next level, but it's not guaranteed. And what if the football thing doesn't work out? Well, what do you see yourself doing?
I definitely want to be involved with sports with whatever I do. So like going into college, what my brother's doing is sports management, and I've thought about like definitely doing like business and sports management. And then yeah, just I want to be involved with sports with whatever I do because I've just always liked sports as a kid growing up.
So you think, again, we're gonna go back to La Jolla. So you get used to La Jolla, and then San Diego's probably just as beautiful, and then you visit somewhere like Pittsburgh. So, I mean, is it safe to say, I mean, San Diego State has to be number one on your list? And if it's not, you start to go visit these other campuses and you're going to be like, wow, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, it's just a special place for sure, but I've definitely thought about going out of state because I want to like experience something else because like I've lived here my whole life and I don't want to like be stuck like where I haven't experienced something else. And like my dad talked to me about that. That's why Jackson, like, he's going out of state. He's going to SMU. So I've definitely thought about going out of state, but San Diego State would also be really cool, for sure.
There's a Hawaii Rainbows.
Yeah.
Nice there.
Is Jackson gonna try to play football at SMU?
Yeah, he's going to walk on in this spring.
All right, please wish him well for us. Do that stat again for me again about the bookends of what your dad always talks about.
Oh, yeah. So the very first touchdown of the season was to me, and then the last touchdown of the season we had where we connected was to me.
So you guys hooked up twice, complete. All right, makes sense.
Yeah.
I got to see if I can find those plays.
Yeah, and I know the season hasn't started, but that's got to be, I mean, your parents and everybody at that first game, it's got to be a little emotional. They're used to seeing you both play and make all these plays, and all of a sudden it's a different quarterback.
Are you going to miss him?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It was super fun with him, and I'm definitely going to miss him.
Who's faster, you or him?
I like to say me, but he's definitely got me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to be faster when we were younger, and then I like lost some speed, but now I'm getting back up there. I'm going to be taller than him and faster than him soon, though.
Before it's over?
Who's faster, you or Jet?
I'm bad. I'm faster than Jet.
Okay. You're faster than Jet?
All right, young man, why do you like this sport? Well, what has it done for you? I mean, I get why a lot of us get it just so we can hang out with the pretty girls and everything, but
it's the only sport that has its own hour-and-a-half show, PPR.
But what attracted you to playing football?
Always just as a kid, it's always been like my favorite sport. I've always played like a bunch of sports growing up, and then just like me, my dad, my brother would like throw the football around like all the time around the house, and it's just I've always been like decent at it, and it's just been super fun.
So you play basketball too, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll go back on that again. And not to shade basketball at all, but I mean the difference between a Friday night lights game, you know, a big game at La Jolla, and then everybody watches a PPR, and then the dine and dash and all those things, and then you go into basketball season. and you have a game in the gym, and there's probably, 50 people there, and there's nothing going on after. I mean, isn't there just a complete opposite of energy between the two sports?
Yeah, for sure. It's less more of a fan game, or just like there's less fans, more parents, but like we have like 1 to 2 games a year where we'll have a decent student section. Like that's about it. But especially for the Hood, we're a smaller school, so like that we don't have like big student sections like Saints or like Cathedral or something.
Oh, geez, I lost my train of thought.
That happens to you a lot.
I know. I was going
More every year, too.
Thanks. Please answer a question. I forgot what I was going to ask him.
You're going to ask him, so you on PPR, who do you like better?
Oh,
Paul or
no, I know. That's right. Now I remembered. Who out there, like, who's impressed you? Like, what athlete that you've lined up against, other than your brother or a teammate, somebody, an opponent, who should we be keeping an eye on that out there that you, but whoa, this cat can play?
I don't know. We have there's a lot of good competition in San Diego. I can't really think of one person specific. There's a lot of good players out there though, for sure. Especially like on my Dream Chasers team, there's a lot of good players over there.
So
But, yeah, I can't think of like one in specific.
Are you buffering again?
yeah, I'm buffering. I'm in Wheel of Death. Go, take it.
All right, I'm going to go back to that. When you watch PPR, who's your favorite, Paul or I?
Please.
I don't know.
Everyone,
Just say Brandon. That's the safest answer.
Do you
Just say
even watch
Brandon.
the show? Do you guys even watch
I
the
do.
Prep Pigskin Report?
Yeah, my dad records it before we get home, so that we can watch it.
So you do watch it.
Yeah, we did for sure. It's super cool.
All right, we got that out of it.
You didn't ask your question.
Oh, no, I was just curious. You know, as you go through life, what's the advice that you've gotten? Who's given it to you? And what is it that you want to share with other athletes that might be following in your cleats?
Just like always keep working. Don't be satisfied with like my uncle always pushes me on speed. My dad always is like, did you work out today? Did you? Because you always gotta keep working. You can't just like slack off and just go through the motions and just get by every day. You gotta like put in work every day to compete at the best level, highest level.
I can't believe we're like a little over 2 weeks out from the SDFNL game, too.
Yeah, 25.
Who do you guys play in that game?
We played Chula Vista.
Chula Vista. All right. They came off a good year, too.
You know, I heard this saying that if you're hanging out with 6 guys who missed the workouts, you're going to be the 7th. If you are hanging out with 6 guys who skip classes, you're going to be the 7th. And so you got to be careful with the company you keep. Can you? Is that something you're aware of, or do you just hang with? I mean, now with social media, everything is being monitored so closely. Are you conscious of that? That hey, I gotta. More eyeballs are on me than I care to admit, and I've got to fly straight. Or do you allow yourself to be a kid like Burt and I were, and always get into trouble?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I always talk about, like my cousin was talking about it recently. It's like how I got to be smarter with the stuff I do, people I hang around. Because like obviously it's high school, stuff's going to happen. But yeah, I've always known to just hang around a smarter group of guys and just like stay on a good path.
That's crazy, especially when you're a sophomore and then you have offers, big offers, and then you're like almost like, well, I gotta keep it straight for 2 years. So it's better to get my offers my senior year, so I wouldn't mess it up in 3 months. If you gave me 2 years to mess it up, oh Lord.
Along that lines, you said you want to get away from home. Does that eliminate San Diego State from the conversation?
No, it doesn't eliminate it. I just thought about going out of state. I thought about in-state. It's definitely so far away that I haven't like thought about where I would go yet at all. It's more just like see what opportunities I have when that comes, and then I'll talk about it with my family and just see what's the best fit for me.
All right, if you want to stay home, this is what you need to do. Your visits. Visit Pittsburgh, West Virginia, Michigan State. Go visit them, and then you will never leave here again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but I mean, the way college football is changing so much, You could just decide to play for San Diego State and
End up playing it.
yeah, you don't even know what conference you're going to be playing in. I mean, college football is kind of disintegrating in front of us, is it not?
Yeah, I know. It's actually crazy. I don't like where it's at or where it's going, but I like the 12-team playoff. I think that's really cool, but the transfer portal is definitely messing some things up. But San Diego State got a bunch of good commits, so I think they're actually going to be pretty good this year.
Explain that experience, like, because do they put, Coach Lewis and whatnot, do they put the squeeze on you pretty hard, or how does that work?
Well, at this time, it's not as much, but like obviously going for further where I can actually commit and like I'm closer to that process, then they would definitely get on me more. But yeah, they're definitely doing the right thing with recruiting.
Aztec fast.
Yeah, all right. Well, I mean, obviously, our program is better when the Aztecs are better.
Yeah.
And I think, how do you handle that if you're Coach Lewis, though? Because you got kids like this, good quality kids, but I get why they'd want to go away from home. I mean, that's part of the college.
I don't at all. I don't.
So you don't think that, because like I was.
If you've never been to some of these other nasty places, yeah, but it's not just playing there. You got to live there for 4 years. Well, not anymore. You just got to live there and transfer. But
all right, well, young man, we're gonna wrap this up. Just tell us, what was your happiest moment on the football field? What was your saddest moment on the football field?
Happiest moment, I'd probably say scoring a touchdown against Central Union. It was like to go up, I think, 2 touchdowns, which kind of like sealed the game. I scored on like a go route on the left side, and then that kind of like sealed the game. And then lowest point was definitely losing to Del Norte in the championship.
let me rephrase the question, make it easier. It's going to be the same answer. What was the one time you couldn't wait to get home and watch PPR? And then what was the one time you didn't even want to watch it? Same answer, right?
Same answer, right?
Actually, for that, probably Point Loma, because I scored 4 touchdowns that game, so I wanted to see like what highlights they had for that.
All right.
All right. Well, young man, we'll probably see you gala night. Certainly, as if you're staying healthy, as underclassman of the year candidate. So we appreciate you making time for us, and we wish you a healthy season. And we'll talk again. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
All right.
Thank
Carson
you.
Diehl, PPR podcast is over. Turn off the machines.